What's good, guys? Just Prince TV here, man. I want to talk to you about some more hip-hop history. This one's Mobb Deep and the whole Tupac situation. Now, y'all remember when Tupac was locked up, right? He was locked up in Rikers Island, which is basically an island away from Queens. So, it has a lot of cats from Queens that goes to Rikers Island because they get locked up, boom, they get sent right there. But anyway, Tupac was locked up, and while he was in jail, he heard songs, from Mobb Deep. He was a fan of Mobb Deep, and he said, "Oh, yo, I like them dudes, this and that." And when he got out a little bit, like roughly in the '95 year of '95, that's when it all started off with this beef with Mobb Deep. Now, Tupac heard the song, one of the songs from Mobb Deep, and Mobb Deep was like, "Doug Life, you still living it." And Tupac took that as a diss towards him, same way he took the Nas, it was written diss towards him. When in hindsight, a lot of these guys said they weren't even talking about Tupac, and Mobb Deep said they weren't even talking about Tupac, and even though Tupac was he started using that Doug Life quote, but Mobb Deep was kind of using that too, especially when around the bridge, they was using that, and Tupac took that personally. But if you ask me, Tupac was doing what you guys call, in this generation, clout chasing, because he just got aligned with Death Row, all right? He wanted to prove his loyalty to Death Row by going at anybody and everybody, basically from the East Coast, or had some sorts of ties with P. Diddy. Because Mobb Deep had ties with P. Diddy because they was trying to get put on. And it was almost about to get signed by Bad Boy. So anybody that has some allegiance to Bad Boy, or friends or connections towards Bad Boy, Tupac was going at. But in actual reality, he had no business going at Mobb Deep. And he lucky that he didn't run into Mobb Deep, because if he did, it'd have been a problem on his part. He had probably been beat down big time, because Mobb Deep rolls deep, all right? And Tupac would have been in a lot of trouble going at Mobb Deep, I think that's one beef that he couldn't talk his way out of. Now, the Nas situation, he was able to talk to Nas, because Nas and Mobb Deep, they have two different type of energies. Mobb Deep was always down for the ruckus, down for the beef. And Nas wasn't like that. Nas only would get down for beef if it was actually necessary, And you could always, before it even gets to that next level, you could always talk it out with Nas. But
a couple of them, but we were like the first ones to say something like, "Yo, just go back at the niggas," basically, and hold down New York, defend our state, basically, like, you know what I mean? So when that happened, that's right when Pac got signed to Death Row. So I guess he felt like he was the one that had to step up and be like, "You know what? I'm gonna be the one that's gonna go at all these niggas, and I'm gonna show my loyalty to Death Row since I'm new over here, and we gonna make it happen right now. Fuck that, it's war." So that's how it really started, you know what I'm saying? We ain't had no problem with Pac. It was really just snooping them, you know what I'm saying? But Pac was holding it down for his crew, just like we was holding it down for New York, you know what I'm saying? So it's understandable. It's sad that how it ended with Biggie and Pac getting killed over some hip hop music and videos and just dumb shit. But yeah, that's what it is, man.
Yeah. So what was your?
So sorry, I was interrupted. But yeah, you could always talk it out with Nas, right? And that's something that you couldn't do with Mobb Deep, okay? Mobb Deep wasn't the type of group or the type of people with that same type of mindset that Nas had. There wasn't no talking out with Mobb Deep, especially in that time. It had just been, an ugly situation. You seen what they did to Nori. You seen what they tried to do to Saigon. They ran them all across the block. That could have been Tupac. Now, I don't know if Tupac would have ran, but if he know what was better for him, he should have ran. You know, but yeah, I thought that was clownish on Tupac's part. I always thought it was. You know, it just looked like he was trying to clout chase and, you know, look for attention when Mobb Deep had nothing to do with him. We didn't even care about Tupac like that. And it was like, back then in the bridge, all we cared about was our local rap artists, the Natures, Cormegas, Mobb Deeps. We didn't give a crap about no Tupac, you know, and he probably wasn't his feelings over that or something, but nevertheless, man, we wasn't really feeling him like that or even paying him any attention. You know what I'm saying? But man, I leave it at that, man. And as you can see, that's how that beef played out. Mobb Deep drop a dime on him, or drop a gem on him, excuse me. And Tupac made some disses towards them with hit him up. Then, you know, he had his outlaws throw a couple jabs at Mobb Deep, which was probably a bad move. It would have been a lot of problems, him with Mobb Deep, for sure. Just Prince TV out, man. We out. One.